Hey guys, welcome back to Lily in the Library. I'm Lily, and these are my books for the month. So I'm coming at you guys with another haul. I know I've been kind of on a book buying kick for the summer. I have a lot of books as per usual, so let's get right into it. I don't have them in any particular order, and some of them I have already read. So, up first, I have The Love Hypothesis. I think everybody knows what this book is about. I'm pretty late to the game. This is one of the books I have not read yet. I know it's something to do with like two people finding each other in STEM. When a fake relationship between scientists meets the irresistible force of attraction, it throws one woman's carefully calculated theories on love into chaos. So I'm pretty sure there's fake dating in here. I feel like everyone has already read this book. Like I said, I'm late to the game and I kind of just want to see what the hype is and see if I'm going to enjoy any Ali Hazelwood books. So I thought I would start here. Up next, I have Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. And I did read this book already this month. This will be in my July wrap up as well. I really enjoyed this. I love most of John Green's books. I'm not sure what took me so long to read this one in particular. I think there's only one or two other books from him that I haven't read and don't own, but this was a great book. And like I said, I will get more into it in my July wrap up. Just so you know a little bit what it's about, 16-year-old Ozza never intended to pursue the mystery of the fugitive billionaire Russell Pickett. But there's $100,000 reward at stake, and her best and most fearless friend Daisy is eager to investigate. So together they navigate the short distance and broad divides that separate them from Russell Pickett's son Davis. So I feel like the blurb about it is a little bit misleading because it kind of makes you think that it's all going to be about finding this missing guy. That is very little to do with the story, in my opinion. But yeah, so already read this one. Look out for my review. Up and next, I have The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. Is it Dave or Davy? I have heard not great things about this book. I'm interested to read it enough. It seems like it's going to be a pretty short read, and there's also an adaptation for it on Apple TV, so I'm curious. I'm curious enough to read it. I know it's something about a woman's husband goes missing and she's with her stepdaughter and they're trying to find him. And so her and the stepdaughter are trying to find out the truth of what's going on behind his disappearance. I don't know much more than that, and that's okay with me. I don't really want to spoil myself too much for it, so I'm really intrigued to read it. Then next, I picked up The Ones We Burn from Pango. Honestly, I just really liked the edges. I like the ombre. I thought it was cute. And then this was also on my Amazon wish list for some reason. So I must have read it, like read the synopsis somewhere. Inside it just says, Ranka is tired of death. Now she just wants to be left alone, living out her days in the wild north with the coven that raised her, attempting to forget the horrors of her past. But when she is named Bloodwind, the next treaty bride to the human kingdom of Isodal, her coven sends her south with a single directive: kill the prince. Easy enough for a blood witch whose magic compels her to kill. Except the prince is gentle, kind, and terrified of her. He doesn't want to marry Ranka. He doesn't want to be a king at all. And it's his sister, the wickedly smart, infuriatingly beautiful Princess Aramis, who seems to be the real threat. Soon she will have to decide between the coven that raised her and the princess who sees beyond the monster they shaped her to be. Okay, I'm interested. This seems like a really big book. 460 pages, so it's going to be a little bit to get through. But just that little blurb, I'm interested. Okay, and then I also got the Polite Before Christmas. This was gifted to me. I am part of a little collaborative Instagram group, and I was Bestie of the Week this past week. So some of the girlies over there treated me to some books that were on my wish list, and this is one of them. I have really been into Christmas and holiday books. I don't really remember what this one was about, but it just says Clark Griswold was onto something, at least with his annual holiday meltdown. And since the last 3 weeks of my life have been riddled with humbug, another breakup, a broken toe, an office promotion I deserved and didn't get, I'm not in the mood to celebrate nor have the happiest Christmas ever. When Mom insisted that we all gather at my grandparents' ancient cabin for an old school family Christmas, I fully intended to get into the holiday spirit with the help of the three wise men, Johnny Walker, Jack Daniels, and Jim Beam. Those boys did absolutely nothing to offset the shock or temper the sting of seeing my ex on our doorstep the first day of our holiday soiree. I don't know. I'm wondering if they're gonna reconnect. Like, is this gonna be a second chance romance, or what are we getting ourselves into here? So I'm excited to read this. I kind of want to read it soon, but I might hold off until closer to Christmas. Next, I have The Counselors. This one I won in a raffle. This is, I think this is the latest book by Jessica Goodman. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just another book I wanted to read. I did enjoy They'll Never Catch Us. It was a pretty good book. I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I want to read this one, and then she has a couple of other books I'm interested to read as well. I feel like this is kind of like traditional YA, like mystery thriller, where there's a situation, you have a group of like teenagers or young adults, and somebody dies, or some people start dying, stuff like that, and then it's kind of like we have to figure out what's going on, what the twist is, and so I do enjoy these types of YA novels. Up next is Butcher and Blackbird. Again, this is another one I won in a raffle. And this is another one that I put it on my list because I'm like, I just want to know what the hype is all about. I want to know if it's good. I want to read it for myself. So this one is about the two serial killers and like they're falling in love and killing people or competing to kill people. I don't quite remember exactly what the synopsis is. I'm sure you've heard of this book a million times by now, so I'm not going to bore you with the details, but this is one that I am excited to read. I'm probably not going to get to it until either maybe October or next year, potentially. And then we have an oldie but a goodie. I picked this bad boy up on Pango. Gillian Flynn, Gone Girl. Do I need to say more? It's been a while since I've read this one. I definitely want to reread it and do some annotating. I got the paperback for specifically that reason, so I'm super excited to get into this one. And then another bestie treat, When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I have heard a few people talking about this book recently, so I'm happy to have it in my hands and I'm happy to get into reading it. I don't know if this is necessarily like an enemies to lovers situation. The main female character is like a celebrity or was a celebrity, and he's a small town boy, so, or small town guy, whatever you want to say. And they're kind of like opposites in the beginning, and then as it goes, they start to see different sides of each other and get closer together. So, I don't know, it just sounds like a very heartwarming story, and I'm excited to get into it. This was another bestie surprise. Actually, someone on Instagram recommended this to me for my Christmas in July readathon that I was doing a couple weeks ago, and I ended up not getting to it, but the premise of it sounds pretty good. So I'm still curious to see if I'll enjoy the book or not. Of course, I had to put it on my wish list simply because the main character's name is Lily, and I will read just about any book where the main character's name is Lily. I don't know what it is, I just enjoy it. This is kind of, I think it was compared to the one where the couple gets married and like she doesn't realize what she's marrying into, and they play that game the night of her wedding, and like people are dying. And yeah, um, similar situation. It's family competing against each other. People are dying. There's secrets to be had. It just sounds like a good time to me. Then I also picked up A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julia Murphy and Sierra Simone. I have read this book a couple years ago. Apparently, it's part of a series now, so I need to get the series and I need to read the other books. But I would like to reread this. It was cute, it was very spicy. Definitely like a cute little naughty holiday read. And yeah, I would like to reread this and possibly annotate this one as well. I'm not sure. I can't remember if there was really anything. Like, I know there's some cute scenes and stuff, but I'm not sure if there's really anything I would actually annotate. This one is basically about a. She's not really a porn star. She's just a sex worker. I believe she has like an OnlyFans or the OnlyFans equivalent in this world. And she is trying to kind of like cross over into more of a mainstream media. She's the main female star in like a Hallmark type movie, and her co-star, who's a more well-known guy, kind of like has a bad reputation. He's her number one fan, but she doesn't know that. So, as you might imagine, there's a little bit of tension there, and it does evolve, and it's just very cute. Like, there's genuinely attraction from both of them, but they don't want to tell the other person. It's such a good. This was good. This was good. So I can't wait to reread this. And then I also picked up What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. And I know I like Adam Silvera's writing because I have read but not finished They Both Die at the End, which so far has been a good book, but I just cannot seem to get through that book. I thought the synopsis sounded cute. To be fair, this was an add on so I could get free shipping, but I did think the synopsis was cute. I don't normally read male romance. I usually prefer to read a sapphic romance. So I thought I would give this one a try. It's about two guys who end up meeting, like they kind of bump into each other at the post office. One is going through a breakup and then they go from there. So I'm really interested to see if I will enjoy this book or not, and I'll have to keep you updated. And then I also picked up We Are Liars by E. Lockhart, which I've heard a few people talk about. I can't remember who was the last person that talked about it, and it just really they compared it to another book that I really liked, and that sold it for me. I want to say it was Kayla from Books and Lala, but I can't remember. I've been really deep diving in some old YouTube videos lately, and so I have been watching a lot and getting a ton of recommendations. This was among them, and so, like I said, the person describing it compared it to something else, and I was like, I loved that. Now I need to read this. All it says on the back is if anyone asks you how it ends, just lie. We are Sinclairs. We live, at least in the summertime, on a private island off the coast of Massachusetts. Perhaps that is all you need to know, except that some of us are liars. Yeah, so I don't know. It just sounded interesting to me the way they phrase it, and now I cannot even think about what it's about, but I want to read it and I want to annotate it. And then the last book in this stack that I got was the Fairy Loot edition, which is so beautiful, of A Tempest of Tea. I actually scored this and the book sleeve that goes with it. The main reason why I got this particular version because I was okay. I'm still gonna have to get the regular like paperback or hardback because I do want to annotate it, and I'm not gonna annotate this book. It's too beautiful. Um, I was really interested in this one because it's kind of like, even though I don't care for heist books, it's been compared to Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, which is one of my all-time favorite duologies. So I really want to read this now. Up next, I have Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bayron. This is the Owl Crate version. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. Absolutely love the green foiling on it. And this is a Snow White retelling, sort of, I think. I'm not sure. I know it's supposed to be, but we'll have to see because when I read the synopsis, to me, it didn't seem very much like a Snow White retelling. It says Eve is ready to be the Queen's sword, to be her own vengeance. Princess Eve was raised with one purpose: to destroy the night. Far too many generations of Queensbridge have been terrorized by this evil sorcerer's trickery. Eve's own unique magic, the ability to conjure weapons from nature, makes her a worthy adversary. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to be a Snow White retelling, but we'll see. This is not super high on my priority list. I can't lie. I think this is the kind of fantasy that I don't really care to even dabble in, but obviously I own it, so I do want to get to it at some point. Up next is another book that I've read this month that I absolutely enjoyed, and I am not going to talk about it too much here because it is going to be in my wrap up for the month. I heavily enjoyed annotating this book. I read it physically and listened to it on audio, and it was amazing. And that's all I'm gonna say about "Set the Record Straight" by Hannah Bonham Young. Then I purchased the Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. So I have Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, as well as Ruin and Rising. I know that the TV show got canceled after 2 seasons, but I still want to read the books before I watch the show. I know, how long ago was this show out? I actually don't know too much about these books. I enjoyed Six of Crows, which is also part of the Grishaverse, and so I wanted to give these a try. Then I also have Afterlove by Tanya Byrne, which I believe is about one girl dies and she like can't get over her first love, and so she's trying to figure out basically how they can be together. It's a sapphic romance. It's got pink sprayed edges. I I couldn't I couldn't pass this up on Pango. Okay, I just couldn't. Then I have It Happened One Summer. This was also a raffle win. Again, this is another one I don't know too much about. I know it's been out for a while at this point, and I believe there are one or two other books in this series, in this thing. But I've never read anything from Tessa Bailey, and it's kind of been on my list. I'm trying to get more into romance this year. And so it just says Piper Bellinger is fashionable and influential, and her reputation as a wild child means the paparazzi are constantly on her heels. When too much champagne and an out of control rooftop party land Piper in the slammer, her stepfather decides enough is enough, so he cuts her off and sends her to her sister to learn some responsibility running their late father's dive bar in Westport, Washington. So I'm interested. This is really reminding me of the kind of the same premise as When in Rome, where it's like a out of control celebrity or former celebrity runs into a small town guy and then romance. So we'll see how I like it. And then I also got treated to the box set of Lucy Foley with her first 3 books. And funnily enough, before this came in the mail, I had already bought from Pango The Hunting Party. But I'm happy because The Hunting Party, so as you guys know, I already own The Paris Apartment. I have a hardback copy of The Paris Apartment. Now I have The Hunting Party in a separate copy. Those are my 2 favorite books, and realistically, the 2 that I'm going to reread and want to annotate. So I am super thrilled to have this, The Paris Apartment, as well as the little box set, because now I can just have this one like displayed and really nice. The other 2 I can go ahead and annotate and mark up and not have to worry about it. Okay, we are down to our last stack of book haul. So the first 3 books I have are the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. So I do have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl, Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead. I am so thrilled to have these. One, I know that there's an adaptation coming out on Netflix. I think it came out this week. So I definitely want to at least read the first book before I watch that series, although I have heard mixed reviews about the adaptation. Second of all, I read the reappearance of Rachel Price last month, I think. And ever since then, I want to read everything Holly Jackson has written, at least in this kind of genre. So I am beyond thrilled to have these books to read. I believe this is about a young woman who's trying to solve not only a murder but also a suicide that's kind of like affected their entire town. I'm not sure if the other two books continue the same investigation, but I couldn't just read one book out of a trilogy. So I am pretty interested to get into these, and I'm hoping I can get into them for the spooky season. Then I have two books which were way bigger than I anticipated. Two graphic novels, that is, Heartstopper Volume 1 and 2. And I have heard so much about these graphic novels. I just need to know what the hype is about. I have the first two novels, but I am so excited to read these. I'm hoping that I'm going to love them and that I'm going to be in on the hype. If you don't know what Heartstopper is about, it is about two young boys that enter into a relationship. I think one of them is out and the other one isn't. I didn't really want to find out too much more about that simply because I want to be surprised. I want to go on the ride for the first time and just see where it takes me. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of male romance, so I'm hoping that I'm going to love this as much as I would love, a sapphic romance. Then another raffle win is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I have heard how cozy this book is, how cute the mystery is, so I just couldn't not put this on my wish list. On the back, it says, in a peaceful retirement village, four unlikely friends meet weekly in the Jigsaw room to discuss unsolved crimes. Together, they call themselves the Thursday Murder Club. When a local developer is found dead with a mysterious photograph left next to the body, the friends suddenly find themselves in the middle of their first live case. They might be senior citizens, but they are cleverer than most. As the bodies begin to pile up, can our unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? Yeah, so I am excited to get in on the cozy mystery vibes. I know this is also a ongoing series, I believe. I'm just excited to find out what this is about. I also love pretty much anything that's set in England or the UK. Sign me up. Another raffle win. I know you guys are sick of hearing about how I'm always winning raffles. Spoiler alert, I'm not always winning raffles. I lose a lot of raffles, and that is why I need to take a break. But this is a Cat Cafe Christmas. It's cats, it's a cat cafe, it's Christmas. Hello, I'm here for it. A laugh out loud opposites attract romance about three of the world's most beloved seeds: Christmas, coffee, and cats. That's all I needed to know. Added it to my wish list. Now I have it. I'm excited for Christmas time. I also picked up Funny Feelings. It was on sale. I added it to my wish list, but it was on sale like right before Prime Day. So had a little bit of a fiasco to get this one. The first copy I got was completely destroyed and disgusting, but thankfully the second copy was in good condition. I actually got this to read next month in September, so look out for this being on my TBR. Hopefully, I'll actually read it. Charlie Jones is a loud, chaotic, and hilariously clever stand up comedian on the way to stardom. The only thing she loves more than the rush of telling jokes in front of an audience is her hot older manager, Meyer, though he doesn't have a clue. Keeping her feelings hidden from him is agony, a tragedy even. In lieu of flowers, please send cash. But Meyer has been Farley's closest and most treasured friend, not to mention vital to the trajectory of her career. She can't risk ruining their relationship by telling him how she truly feels. Yeah, so I'm thinking it's going to be a friends to lovers situation, which I love. I love friends to lovers, okay? I have recently discovered that is my thing. Love friends to lovers. I hope there's no miscommunication in this, though, because I do hate that a lot. But just the cover, listen, the covers get me, okay? Every time the covers get me. I'm gonna buy the book just based on the cover alone. I'm sorry. Then this was a raffle win. Yours truly by Abby Jimenez. I want to start getting into Abby Jimenez books, and someone told me this was a good place to start, and thankfully somebody picked that up off of my wish list, and so here we are. I think this one is enemies to lovers. I'm not really sure. Again, I try not to like read too much into things because I don't want to be spoiled just in case. Like, I want to go into, especially a romance book, having absolutely no idea what's going on. So I'm excited for this one. I'm not even going to bother reading the synopsis or anything because I feel like this book is so old and everyone has talked about it and or read it that there's no way you don't know about this book. Then I have Agatha Christie Death on the Nile. Again, this was another raffle win, thankfully. I'm excited to read this one. I have only read a few Agatha Christie books before, but this is a film adaptation. So, of course, I want to read it and so I can watch the movie. I kind of want to do a series about that, like reading the books and then watching the adaptation, because I have one, just in this stack alone, I have one, two, three, and then I also have a few more. Should I do a series? I also heard that the Poirot mysteries are pretty good and kind of comical, so I'm excited about that. The tranquility of a cruise along the Nile was shattered by the discovery that Lynette Ridgway had been shot through the head. She was young, stylish, and beautiful, a girl who had everything until she lost her life. Hercule Poirot recalled an earlier outburst by a fellow passenger. I'd like to put my dear little pistol against her head and just press the trigger. Yet in this exotic setting, nothing is ever quite what it seems. I love stuff like this. I love books like this. I love movies like this when they're done well. And I have really high hopes because I know Agatha Christie is such a prolific author, or was such a prolific author. And I remember the book that I did read, oh my gosh, it was at least a decade ago at this point, and it was good even then. So I have high hopes, and I highly doubt that I'm going to be disappointed on this one. Then, yes, another Colleen Hoover book. Oh my gosh, now I own two. This was also a raffle win, and I'm so excited because I've been trying to get my hands on this book for a while. I just got the audiobook on Libby, and guess who's going to be annotating this book? Hopefully, in time to watch the movie. Me, me, right here, this person. Um, I'm hoping I can just fly through this, and I hope it's as good as everybody says it is because I have still not read anything from Colleen Hoover. So here we go. I don't even know what this book is about. Sometimes the one who loves you is the one who hurts you the most. Valid. Oh, Lily. Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. Okay, already 3 points. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. When she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. Ryle is assertive, stubborn, and maybe a little arrogant. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily. But Ryle's complete aversion to relationship is disturbing. As questions about her new relationship overwhelm her, so do the thoughts of Atlas Corrigan, her first love, and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Atlas suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. Love that comes at the ultimate price. Ma'am, if he was your spirit, your kindred spirit, and your protector, and you. Okay, I'm already mad. So you're telling me that you're between a guy that was your kindred spirit, your protector, and someone who doesn't even want to be in a relationship. I'm gonna have to read this for my final thoughts, but already I'm just like, why would you choose the person who doesn't want to be with you over the person who is going to protect you? I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know, and now I need to know. Next up, another raffle one. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. And I also want to read, what is it? The First Wives or something? I don't know. It's the one with the two hands. on the cover and there's like a knife or a blade or something, I'll make sure I put it on the screen. Somebody recommended this to me based on how much I enjoyed Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. They said it was like kind of similar vibes. So, six friends, one college reunion, one unsolved murder. 10 years after graduation, Jessica Miller has planned her triumphant return to Southern elite Duquesne University, down to the envious whispers that are sure to follow in her wake. Everyone is going to see the girl she wants them to see. Confident, beautiful, indifferent. Not the girl she was when she left campus, back when Heather Shelby's murder fractured everything, including the tight bond linking the six friends she'd been closest to since freshman year. I just hope it's not like What Lies in the Woods by Katie Alice Marshall, because I didn't hate that book. I hated that I wasted my time on it. So hopefully this is good. Funny You Should Ask by Alyssa Sussman. I have no idea what this book is about. I think I saw somebody read it and they liked it, and it's pink and I like the cover. I'm sorry. I know it's a romance. Then 20 something writer Shani Horowitz is stuck while her former MFA classmates are nabbing high profile book deals. All she does is churn out puff pieces. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be about um, a brutal divorce and a healthy dose of therapy. Interesting. Okay, so I'm wondering if we're going to be following two different timelines. Is it going to be about like a writer? I don't know. I don't want to get spoiled. I don't want to have any preconceived notions going into this book. So I'm just going to leave it at I want to read this. And then lastly, but certainly not least, Foxglove by Adeline Grace. I really like this cover. Like, I don't like the other one that much, but I do like this one. I'm still going to get the UK ones, and I really wish I could get the Fairy Loot ones, but I'm okay with just having the UK versions. These, I'm going to get Wisteria in this American style as well. I want to annotate these because I also have Belladonna in the American style. I want to annotate these, and then I want to get the UK versions because they're beautiful. This is the second in, I'm assuming, it's a trilogy. I think Wisteria is the last book. About a young woman who she's like orphan and she, or not, yeah, I guess she would be considered an orphan because her parents are dead, right? And she's going from like home to home with these people who mistreat her and stuff, and then she finally gets to a home where people treat her, you know, with love and consideration, and then somebody in the home is dying, and I think she's like trying to figure out how to save them or something, and she comes across death, and death falls in love with her. I have no idea what this book is about and how this continues the story, and I kind of don't want to spoil it for myself because I have not read Belladonna yet, so I feel like knowing anything about this book other than it's a continuation of that would ruin it for me. So, but I got it. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed coming along the journey of this haul for me. I know. I have bought quite a few books over the last couple of months. I'm just building my library, guys. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please consider subscribing. Leave me a comment if you want to. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.